Je mag hier komen staan. Giel, you're the CEO of TrustLube. You make lubricants for wind turbines. How did you get into that?
It was a long time ago, 20 years ago, in Singapore and Dubai. I was invited to visit a dredging vessel. And when I boarded the dredging vessel, I slipped over the deck because of too much grease on the deck. And that was the beginning.
And then you thought, I could do this better.
Other system, other lubricants.
Okay, well, you brought a little video where we can see how your TrustLube works.
U bent hier bij het consortium Grensmaas. Wij verzorgen de hoogwaterbescherming voor de rivier de Maas, daar waar de Maas de grens is tussen Nederland en België. Wat we in feite doen is de Maasoever verbreden volgens een bepaald vastgesteld profiel. En alles wat daar boven aan grind vrijkomt, dat kunnen we op de markt sturen. We hebben in feite 3 doelstellingen: hoogwaterbescherming, natuurontwikkeling en grindwinning. Op enig moment kwam ik hier op het schip wat hier achter ons ligt een terugkerend smeerprobleem tegen. Die ziet u op de achtergrond als blauwe dingen aan boord. Dat zijn zwaardwassers. Daar hadden wij op een zeker moment met enige regelmaat dat daar lagers en asstompen vernieuwd moesten worden. Soms wel 3-4 keer in de maand. En dat zijn asstompen met lagers van zo'n €5.000 per stuk. Nadat we de systemen van TrustLube hebben geïnstalleerd daar, hebben we er eigenlijk nog maar 1 gehad in een aantal jaren. Daarbij moet ook gezegd worden dat het plaatsen van het systeem best wel ingrijpend zou kunnen zijn op de productie, maar door een enorm flexibele opstelling van TrustLube hebben we minimum aan onderbreking gehad. Er is ook 's avonds en in het weekend gewerkt buiten onze productie om. Dus daarmee is het wel vrij duidelijk dat TrustLube bij ons wel goed aangeschreven staat.
Yeah. Wow, Giel, happy customer here. We're going to talk about lubrication because we heard all day already wind turbines are going to be bigger. They're going to be placed further from the shore. The climate is going to change into even harsher and harsher conditions. That must have implications for lubrication.
Exactly.
Are they big? And are they, is it just a tiny part of the energy transition, or is it something you really have to think for better?
It's really an item to think in engineering phase. That's why we sit around the table with engineering to make the turbines, the equipment which are installing the turbines as efficient as possible to make sure that you even can lubricate the equipment properly.
When is a lubricant good? What does it need to do?
It reduces wear and tear, it reduces friction, of course, but most importantly in our market, offshore wind, offshore oil and gas, to avoid the dirty contamination entering turbines or other equipment.
I'm a cyclist for a hobby. When you start cycling, you think, ooh, the more lubricant, probably the smoother it is. So you put a lot of lubricant on your bike. You do that a few times because then it gets really dirty. Then you learn to use as little as possible, but not too little. That's basically what you try to do. Is the same with wind turbines?
That's correct. We always say we minimize lubrication, really very small dots, but as regularly as possible. So small intervals, little quantity.
How big is the environmental issue, an issue with lubricants? Are they very bad for the environment if they're not the right ones?
Now, there are 2 things. Of course, minimize lubrication. For example, in the dredging industry, we save 70% of lubricant. And of course, you can use environmentally friendly lubricants. Always be careful with biodegradable lubricants because you need to make sure that your equipment stays 100% healthy.
So yeah, I understand. If it's biodegradable, it degrades, but if it's not, it gets into the ocean. We don't want that either.
What we do in the development of lubricants, we choose such kind of additives, oils, and very low toxic particles if needed, which is not dangerous for the sea life environment.
Are lubricants still? They're often still oil-based. We want to go to a non-fossil society. Can we have them without fossil fuels?
There are a lot of developments ongoing on bio oils and so on, but still in our world, offshore wind, oil and gas, our equipment is that critical that we need to be careful not to go fast with biodegradable products.
Yeah. Is the world of lubrication going to change a lot in the coming, let's say, 5 to 10 years?
Yes, I think so. There on lubricants for sure that we go completely 100% environmentally friendly, but also construction-wise, you can do a lot in constructions to minimize the usage of lubricant of grease.
Give me an example.
Yes, for example, motion compensated cranes, motion compensated equipment. We have developed systems that we can minimize the lubricant. We have examples that customers are using 1 barrel a month of grease, which we get down to 400 or 500 cc per month.
So when designing a wind turbine or a vessel, don't design it and find a lubricant to do it, but design it with lubricant in mind.
Yeah, and the grease system as well. So the lubricant and the system to apply the grease in minimum quantities.
This morning, Liber showed vessels that can go really far ashore and basically have wind farms that sustain themselves for, let's say, a year. Not a single human has to get there for a year. They auto-lubricate and clean themselves, etc. What does it mean for the lubricant business?
That we have to develop, are developing logistics systems that you can run on a certain type of lubricant which is suitable for 1 year. 1 year storage, 1 year usage, which is quite a challenge.
When we talk about, are there some more things we have to think of when we talk about lubrication for the coming years? Are there trends we see, or are there things to keep in mind?
For sure, environment, of course. We have a lot of regulations, eco-label and many others. Still, look very careful to your equipment, to the wind turbines, to the vessels, jack-up systems, and furthermore development into the biodegradable lubricants.
Yeah, because you say we have particles that are not damaging the environment, but the last 50 years we had a lot of chemicals that we thought, oh, they're non-toxic, and then we realized, oh, we shouldn't have put them in the oceans anyway. Do we have the same risk with new lubricants that...
Yeah, for example, a nice example is PFAS. PFAS forbidden, so we developed other additives for the environment.
Can we ever have a perfectly biodegradable lubricant that stays on the things that should lubricate as long and be effective there, and the moment we take it off, it dissolves?
Yeah, I think we have a nice example on rack and pinion system, the legs of wind turbine installation vessels. The legs are in the sea life, on the cords. When they jack up, the grease needs to stick to the cords, to the legs. So that's a perfect example of a biodegradable product in various operation conditions in the wind industry.
When are all these innovations that we see in the offshore industry going to hit my bicycle? And can I lubricate my chain once a year and be totally fine?
Depends if you are cycling in the woods or in the jungle or in the desert.
The woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can.
Okay, we got it. Well, so much for my bicycle, but mainly also for the energy transition. Thank you so much, and keep lubricating us.
Thank you.